You've seen the image, right? That heartbreaking figure from Pompeii, frozen in volcanic ash, desperately clutching a small child. For generations, we've called it a mother's final act of love. But what if I told you that iconic mother was actually a man? And that's just the beginning of the story science is now uncovering. Forget everything you thought you knew about Pompeii's most famous victims. Back in 79 AD, Mount Vesuvius erupted, burying the city and its people in ash. Much later, in the 1860s, an archaeologist named Giuseppe Fiorelli had a brilliant idea: pour plaster into the hollow spaces left by the bodies. This created the haunting cast we know today, ghostly snapshots of final moments. And naturally, we started telling stories about them. Take the so-called mother and child, found in the House of the Golden Bracelet back in 1974, an adult wearing an intricate gold snake bracelet embracing a toddler, found with two others under a staircase. The story wrote itself. A family huddled together, mother, child, maybe father, and another kid, seeking refuge. It's a powerful image of love against disaster. The protective pose, the valuable jewelry. It all seems so obvious, but science just dropped a bombshell. Using cutting-edge ancient DNA analysis, think forensic science for the Roman Empire, researchers from places like Harvard and Max Planck looked closer. The results? That adult figure, the one with the bracelet, the one we called mother, genetically male. And incredibly, he had absolutely no close family relationship with the child he was holding. None. Let that sink in. A man holding a child he wasn't related to in Pompeii's final moments. That image of maternal sacrifice? It vanishes, replaced by, what? Compassion? Duty? A chance encounter in chaos? This single revelation forces us to question everything we projected onto that scene. And the surprises didn't stop there. DNA showed this man likely had dark hair, dark skin, and ancestry tracing back to the Eastern Mediterranean or North Africa, painting a picture of a diverse Pompeii. But wait, there were four people huddled under those stairs, right? Surely they were related. Nope. The DNA analysis of all four individuals they could test showed they were all male. And none of them were closely related to each other. No parents, no children, no siblings, not even first cousins found amongst them. Four unrelated men found together in what we assumed was a family's final hiding place. Our neat little story of a nuclear family completely collapses. What brought these four men together? Neighbors? Friends? Complete strangers sharing a terrifying end? Then there's another famous pair, the two maidens, or two sisters, from the house of the Cryptoporticus. Two figures intertwined, seemingly in a final embrace. Again, the assumption was immediate. Sisters, a mother and daughter, two women clinging together. But guess what? DNA tells a different story. At least one, and very likely both, were male. Unrelated males. One probably aged between 14 and 19, the other at least 17 or 18. Not sisters, not mother and daughter. Just two young men facing death together. Some earlier bone analysis hinted they were male, sparking speculation they were lovers. But while DNA gives us biological sex, it doesn't tell us their relationship. Friends? Strangers finding comfort? We just don't know. We swap one assumption for potentially another. Getting this information wasn't easy. Imagine trying to pull usable DNA from bone fragments nearly 2,000 years old, fragments baked by extreme heat, maybe mixed with plaster, and contaminated over centuries. It's a monumental challenge. But thanks to incredible advances, scientists use specialized techniques to extract and sequence ancient DNA, analyzing unique genetic markers, like DNA fingerprints, to determine sex and kinship. They even use something called strontium isotope analysis, which looks at chemicals absorbed from food and water during childhood, giving clues about where someone grew up. And this combination of techniques revealed even more about Pompeii itself. Remember the ancestry finding for the man with the bracelet? All five individuals successfully analyzed showed genetic links mainly to the Eastern Mediterranean and North Africa. Places like Greece, Turkey, the Levant, Egypt. It confirms Pompeii was a real melting pot, just like Rome itself. But here's the twist. The strontium analysis suggested these individuals, despite their diverse genetic origins, likely grew up locally in the Pompeii region. Perhaps they were second-generation immigrants, part of a dynamic community drawn from across the Roman world. So what does this all mean? It means we have to rethink Pompeii. Unrelated people found huddled together suggests that maybe friendships, neighborhood ties, or work connections were just as important as family, especially in a crisis. It's a stark reminder not to project our modern ideas about family or gender, like assuming a bracelet means woman or an embrace means lovers, onto the past. These discoveries force us to be humble, to question assumptions, and to see how vital science is in understanding history. This isn't just about Pompeii. Similar DNA revelations have overturned assumptions elsewhere, like the so-called lovers of Modena and the Hassanlu lovers, both initially thought to be male-female couples, both later revealed by DNA to be two males. It makes you wonder, doesn't it? How many other stories we tell about the past are just stories? We've replaced the old narratives with new mysteries. Why was that man holding an unrelated child? What was the bond between those young men? Science has given us facts, but the human stories remain complex, elusive, and far more intriguing than the simple tales we told ourselves. Pompeii is teaching us that its people were real individuals, their lives and relationships more intricate than we ever imagined. And this is probably just the beginning. As more remains from Pompeii are analyzed with these powerful new tools, what other secrets will be revealed? What other assumptions will crumble? The silent figures of Pompeii are finally starting to whisper their truths, reminding us that history is a story that's constantly being rewritten.